Murtadin Mesir, Tuhan pakai Israel untuk selamatkan saya.
My next guest grew up as a member of one of the most important families in Egypt. He's the president of the human rights group One Free World International and is with us now. Majid Al-Shafi, welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Add to that, I just wanted to ask you a bit about your personal story, because it is fascinating. As I say, you grew up in Egypt, a big, well-known family. As a Muslim, you converted to Christianity. Is that right?
That's correct. That's correct. Since I was young, I was always interested in the law, and all my family was in the legal career. So during my studying, I discovered the persecution that happened to the Christian minorities in Egypt. And this ignited the question, why are we persecuting them? Logically, you don't persecute somebody unless you are scared from the truth that they carry. This ignited that I converted to Christianity. I created underground human rights organization, and it's ended by me being arrested by the Egyptian authority and tortured very severely.
Because you converted?
Because I converted and I was very activist. So once I received the death penalty, I had to escape. That's when I stole a jet ski and I crossed the border from Taba to Eilat.
You escaped on a jet ski?
I stole a jet ski and I crossed from Taba to Eilat.
Wow. James Bond would be...
This was 26 years ago.
He would be...
I had more hair and I was much thinner then.
Okay, all
yes.
right. Okay, well, come to Israel, of course. I guess your background means that your view of Israel was quite particular. What did you learn about Israel growing up? What were your feelings towards Israel?
Well, the Egyptian media, the Egyptian atmosphere, the society was definitely against Israel in the education, in the media, in the society itself. But my filter from all of this was my mother. She loved everybody, and she did not allow any of her children to grow up hating everybody. And when the war in October happened, when the attack in October 7 happened, I had to return back to Israel to return the favor. And as God used Israel to save my life, it's my time to say thank you.
Wow.
And that's why I'm here.
Is this your first time in Israel?
No, I came before that, but not during the war.
Okay, so tell us about the presentation that you made to the Foreign Ministry. What did
we came just right after the war, after the attacks, the terrorist attacks on October 7. We went to the Kibbutzim, we started an investigation. We even looked at the Arabic media. We spoke with even some Palestinians in Gaza, and we gathered all the information and we wrote a report and we submitted to the Foreign Affairs. Plus that we started a documentary called Dying to Live.
And of course, Israel has kind of tried to make the case that Hamas is a threat not just to Jews and Israelis, but to the whole region. It is destabilizing the whole region. Do you think that the Arab leaders accept that privately, but they have to say something else publicly?
No, because they are hypocrites. But this is not the issue. We have to understand that Hamas hurt more Palestinians than the Israelis, if you ask me. They stole their aid, they used them as a human shield, they hide the weapons under schools and hospitals, while the leadership in Qatar having caviar and champagne, as me and you talking right now. So I say free Hamas, free Gaza from Hamas. That's my request to the Palestinian people, and I think they deserve that. They deserve to be free away from terrorism. However, the question will always remain if the Palestinians really want to live free from them, because they voted for them in the last election.
And we just saw a poll that shows that overwhelmingly they support Hamas.
Yes, even in the West Bank, by the way, not just in Gaza.
More in the West Bank than in Gaza.
Yes, but for the people that out demonstrating every day, and one of the main shocking results of the outcome of this report is how much anti-Semitism exists that we saw in the West today. It was really shocking to us. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that all of these demonstrators have to answer, where have you been when Bashar al-Assad was killing his own people? Where have you been when Iran was killing everybody because just a woman did not cover her hair properly? Where have you been when Saudi Arabia was attacking Yemen? What we are seeing today is nothing but anti-Semitic in the new form. There is the old anti-Semitism and there is the new anti-Semitism. The old anti-Semitism, hate the Jews, kill the Jews, the same speeches of Hitler. But when you remove this word Jew and you put Israel, that's the new anti-Semitism that we see today. You have the right to criticize Israel. It's a country like any country. You have the right to criticize the Jewish people. It's a country like any country. But if you take away from Israel the right to exist and the right to defend itself, that's the new anti-Semitism.
Right, and you live in Toronto right now. We've seen some pro-Hamas. People are being openly pro-Hamas on the streets of Toronto. I mean, how do you counter that?
How you counter that you don't give up. That you have to fight back, you have to stand up firm in your belief, in love. If there is one message I want to tell this demonstrator, as he said, where have you been? Where is your hypocrisy when there was needed you? But above all, my message to the Israelis, don't give up on hope. Don't give up on peace. Don't make Hamas win by changing your human soul, your Jewish heritage. But I have a message to Hamas, though, and all of these demonstrators. I want to tell Hamas, thank you. Thank you, and I really, if it's up to me, I will write you thank you letter. I want to thank them for showing us the ugly face of terrorism and evil. I want to thank them for showing us how deep anti-Semitism in our Western society. And I want to thank them for uniting the Jewish people. They succeed to do what Netanyahu couldn't do. I want to thank them for uniting the Jewish people, igniting them. Jewish people have something in their DNA. When they're under attack, they wake up, they become united, and they fight back. And I think what they did was the best thing happened to Israel.
Well, are you hopeful for peace in the region? I mean, going back to Egypt, of course, President Sadat was a very courageous man. Nobody could ever have imagined that Israel and Egypt would sign a peace treaty, but it is there today, even if relations between the peoples are not great. Are you hopeful? How do you foresee the region going forward?
I will answer you by the gentleman that's sitting down in front of you. I was born Muslim. I learned to hate Jewish all my life, but I'm here defending Israel. There is always hope.
All right. And tragically, Christians, of course, have been persecuted across the region.
Of course.
What do you think about the survival of the Christian communities, and why does nobody talk about this in the West?
Because politically correctness, because nobody wants to upset the Muslim votes. However, there is one thing you need to remember when it comes to the persecuted Christians or Jews. They can kill the believers, but they cannot kill the believer of our hearts. They can kill the dreamer, but nobody can kill the dream. Don't worry about us, we'll survive.
All right, Majed Al-Shafir, thank you so much for bringing a very peaceful message to the world.
So
and Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Bebaskan Sandra segera tanpa syarat. Salam damai dari Fakta Israel.